Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm starting with Silversurfer and I'm going to be making a disco checkerboard nail. I'm going to pop some inspo up in here that I've copied off, which is super cute. It's also got some extra colours and lines on here to make it look 3D. It's wibbly wobbly and it's ideal for all of you elder emos out there. You know who you are. So I'm putting a generous layer of Silversurfer on and I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds when I'm happy with the coverage. And now I'm happy with that. Pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds and I'm going in with Omega Centauri. Hopefully I haven't butchered the name of that. And then I'm going in with a generous layer of that all over the nail. It's a finer glitter, it's nice and iridescent, and it's just going to fill in all of the gaps from the previous glitter. I just wanted a bit of dimension, a little bit of thicker coverage. And when I'm happy with that, I'm going to pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds as well. Next I'm going to use Ultra Matte Coat, and this is so when I'm drawing on all of my intricate lines it's much easier. When you're working on a really shiny surface, things are more likely to slip about and slide around, so this will just make it a little bit of a smoother process. Once that's cured for 60 seconds, I'm going to use Serious Black and I'm going to use a fine detail brush. And I'm going to be making our grid, but it's a wibbly wobbly grid, so you've just got to take your time. I did do this, wipe it off, do it, wipe it off until I was happy with the first line, and then you just kind of want to follow that shape with your other lines, keeping a nice steady distance. I'm just going in down the side just to add in some extra lines for the grid. When I'm happy with that, I cured that for 60 seconds and then I'm just going back in and doing the horizontal lines. So yet again, wibbly wobbly, start off with your first one and then try and keep an even distance and follow the shape with the rest of your lines. You can also make this a little bit easier for yourself and do a bigger grid, so you're actually drawing less lines and it makes it a little bit simpler. So when I'm doing intricate stuff like this, I like to at least flash cure in between each section, but I usually fully cure, just in case it goes a little bit wrong, and then I can wipe off the section I'm doing without ruining what I've already done. I've popped that in the lamp for 60 seconds and I'm going to start filling in the grid. So just again with Serious Black, I'm using a bigger brush for this. I'll tag it down below because off the top of my head, I can't remember what this one's called, but it is on our website. So I'm just filling in the grid. I'm just using a generous layer, but you just want to make sure it's nice and smooth as well. But what we can do is we can do a layer here, cure it, and then go back in with another layer to make sure it's fully opaque. making sure I'm going right in down the sides and filling in the tiny bits of grid there just for continuity. Now that's cured for 60 seconds, I'm just going back in with the same brush and the same gel polish and just doing a second layer. Pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds, and then I'm using Pisces, and this is going to help us with our 3D effect. So I'm just going to pop a line of this down the right hand side of all of those wibbly wobbly squares. So what we're going to do to make the 3D effect is we're going to use a slightly darker colour and a slightly lighter colour in a similar tone and layer them next to each other, and it'll make it look like you've got those 3D glasses on and everything's moving a little bit weird. So you just want to keep these lines nice and skinny, and if you go over any of the black areas and it doesn't look right, just wipe it off. And surely by now you know the drill. When you're happy with that, pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds, and then we're going to use Merlot, and this is going to be our alternating colour. So on the left hand side of all of those squares, we're going to be putting a line of that. So we're going to cure that, and next we're going in with Snow White, and this is going to layer next to our blue Pisces colour. So again, just go in nice skinny lines next to the blue and just keep them a similar width as well. that, pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds and make sure it's cured. And we're going to go in and do our coordinating colour to go with Merlot, which is Apricot Pudding. And again, just a nice thin line layered next to that Merlot. Just take this bit nice and slow just to make sure that you get all of the sections, because it is a bit mind-boggling because of all of the wavy patterns and different colours that sometimes you have to think about where you're placing all of these things. And I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds as well. And I'm going to use our gel top coat nail sealer, and what I'm going to do with this is just layer it on, and it's a good tool for if you've done a lot of detail work and you want to smooth it all out. It's a great gel polish to pop on before your top coat. I mean, you can use it as a top coat as well and then wipe it down with some gel residue remover, but I like to do this just to smooth out the nail before I pop the top coat on. So here we are, popping some top coat on, and again we're just going to cure that for 60 seconds when we're happy. And there we have our disco checkerboard nail. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think I've managed to pull it off? I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks pretty cool. And we would love to know what kind of stuff you would like to see in the future. So let us know what styles, what kind of products, what kind of techniques. Any of the products we've used today will be linked in and around the video. And please share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.